First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to Coach Napier and our football program for a great season, record-setting season, and winning their bowl game and winning 11 football games, which is hard to do. And I'd said when Billy first got here, I told all of our fans and anybody that asked that we were going to win, give him 2 to 3 years, he's going to win. And I was able to ride with him to a couple of speaking events and could tell from our conversations that he had it, and certainly proud for him and our program and our university. So congrats there. It's been a long trip that we just went on. It's our second week-long trip where we played 3 games. This time was conference play and a little bit more difficult because we were a little bit more shorthanded than we were the first time we went on the 3-game trip. But had a great second half against App State on the road, turned those guys over a little bit. We're able to get some layups and easy baskets. Malik Wilson caught fire and had 21 second-half points, played extremely well. Got clipped by Mike Bibby, one of their guards, and fell during the game, and it was in the middle of the second half, and we were scared that he was hurt, and then he hopped right up and continued to finish the game. And then after the game, we found out that he had a knee sprain, and we were concerned, and we held him out against Georgia State, hopefully that he would play against Georgia Southern. That didn't happen either. So disappointing that we lost him. He's been playing extremely well, and was actually in conference games, was leading the conference in in steals, 3-point field goal percentage, really starting to shoot the 3 well, and then was ranked, I believe, 5th and 4th in scoring and rebounding. So really was doing a great job for us. And losing him was another blow, and we went to Georgia State, where we've not had much success. We beat them one time. I believe it was Ron Hunter's worst loss at home in Atlanta. We beat them by 33 a few years ago, 87-54, similar to what the game turned out to be the other night. And got off to a poor start. I think we were 1 for 12, 2 for 20-something, 3 for 28 or 9. Just couldn't score at the basket, and going against a team that had lost 2 games, it was much stronger and deeper than we were, and the game got away from us. And it seems like that's happening quite a bit in college basketball, just like Michigan State, Purdue yesterday. There's been a lot of games. Utah, Colorado, I watched that game last night, and same scenario. Conference road game can be ugly at times. But we regrouped, and we came back. Thought we fought extremely hard down in Statesboro and played a really good first half. We're up 30-26. Tyre Smith was in foul trouble, and we got up 7 early in the second half. He fouled out with about 15 minutes to go, and it went downhill from there. We had 1 field goal the last 10 minutes of the basketball game and weren't able to hang on and beat Georgia Southern. I do feel like if that was one game, if we had had our guys, we would have definitely been able to pull that one out. But long trip back home, regroup, get ready for UTA coming in here this weekend. They did not make the trip last year to the Cajun Dome, and it'll be Chris Ogden's first opportunity to see our facility. And they've got a group that will be patient on offense, they'll be stingy on defense, and should be a really good basketball game.
The first half in Statesboro, is that an indication to you how the team responded, that they were motivated by the loss at Georgia State, or kind of had a little bit of a chip on their shoulder? They responded well at least?
We did respond well. We were challenged. We challenged the guys and asked them to, hey, this game's an important game. And just like we lost 2 years ago, I think we were 10-0. We went in there and got beat and gave up 100 points. And Bryce Washington pulled me aside. He goes, Coach, we're going to get this game. And we had a plan, and we went and did that, and our guys had that same mentality, and we went out and we played a really good 28 minutes, and then we lost tires. To be honest, we just ran out of gas. I mean, we got guys injured. Cedric's not 100% and starting to show, and just didn't have enough firepower down the stretch.
How have you just been able to be patient as a coach? Obviously, you guys are dealing with injuries and still learning on the fly. So what have you done just for yourself to still be patient with this team, because obviously there's still a lot of talent there?
Well, we're trying to do our best each time. We've had great plans for the guys. We've told them to stick together. there's nothing you can do. I mean, you're going to a fight and you don't have half your ammunition, it's going to be difficult. So that's where we are, and we're trying to hopefully get a guy back and not lose anymore. But that could happen too. It could actually get worse before it gets better, if you can believe that. But just trying to fight and get through each game and improve as a team each time we take the court. And we've done that. We rebounded the ball well on this trip. We've done some good things. But we've got to continue to shoot the ball well and put it all together.
Can you just give a quick run through of who's injured and when you expect it back? I don't have an exact date, but just kind of recap who's banged up and when possible.
Well, certainly we've talked about the guys with the season-ending knee surgeries. We were 5-3, I think, when Kobe went out, and that was a big one. But Trajan's out, concussion protocol. Certainly got a sore back, and very fortunate that wasn't worse. And there's no timetable for his return. Don't know that he will. Hardy had an ankle sprain, and he was practicing last week and running before we left to go on the trip, and he should be cleared this week. So he should be available coming up. And then Cedric and Malik Wilson were at the orthopedic office this morning, and I'm still waiting results to see what will happen with those two guys.
Cedric still the thing from TCU?
No, it's a foot issue. So he's not been himself. He hasn't been shooting the ball well, you can tell, and he's tried to fight through it as a captain and hasn't had much success shooting the ball. So
when Wilson kind of had that 3-game stretch where he had been going, did he just take that on himself, or did somebody get in his ear that he needed to take on more? And then kind of related to that, how difficult is it for a freshman, even in circumstances where you're short guys, to take a lot on himself? Like at kind of the midpoint of the season, is that when they typically feel comfortable doing that?
Well, we'll back up, Tim. When Malik signed with us this spring, he signed in the fall, but in the spring I told him, you need to be ready when you come in here in June, because I expect you've got to pick up the speed of the game and adapt quickly, because I'm going to lean on you next year. And fortunately, we had June and July, summertime, that we were able to practice, and he did some good things. He definitely showed flashes, and then I felt like he took a little bit of a backseat when the season started to the older guys, and we've encouraged him to continue to work and step up his game. And I personally challenged him a couple of weeks ago, so you need to go score 20 points. I've seen you score 20-plus many times in AAU in high school. So, and I thought the game against Troy was really good. He had 18, he had 13 rebounds, and he's one of the best rebounding guards that I've coached. He does a great job there, but he just continued to take it on, and the game got up and down a little bit at App State in the second half, and he thrives at that. He was at his best, and he's leading the conference in three-point field goal percentage. So when he's shooting the ball well from three, then he can score a lot of different ways.
Sticking with the three-pointer, you're halfway through a season with the extended line. How's that impacted? You've had injury stuff, but how do you feel it's impacted your team and then the college basketball game as a whole?
We haven't shot it as good as I hoped we would. Felt like that we were going to shoot a little bit better. We've had our moments. It has impacted the game overall. It's affected scoring. Percentages are down. There's been a lot of talk about the three-point line, the officiating, things that have slowed down our scoring overall in our game. So I think it's a good thing, and I think the percentages will go back up next year. Cody, it depends on who's shooting the basketball. If bad shooters continue to shoot bad shots, then the percentages will be low. But it really points out who can shoot and who can't.
Are you having to change your style of play? Are you noticing maybe other coaches changing their style of play, or is it?
Not really. We've done some things defensively. We were pretty good and ranked in three-point field goal defense. And then we didn't do a good job at Georgia State. They shot the ball extremely well. They got a bunch of good players. But we've done a couple of things defensively I think's helped us in that regard.
Is that something you're emphasizing more? Obviously, everybody can't necessarily score 20 points a game, but you can always give great effort on defense. Is that something you're telling the guys before games that, hey, we might need to play tighter defense than we had in the past?
Yeah, we've certainly tried. We do that regardless, and the guys have worked defensively, and we've had our moments. We played good defense on this trip. for 2 of the 3 games, for the majority of the basketball games. So we're going to continue to work at it every night, and certainly your defense needs to travel, and in cases it does. It needs to be solid at home too, but that's still one of our first emphases, is to be good defensively.
When you're fatigued on a road trip, or just in general, does it, we say defense travels, but defense takes a lot of effort. Does it affect the defense as much as the offense?
Yeah, it does. There's no question, and we missed some rebound opportunities. We've been pretty good at blocking out against Georgia Southern early in the game. We should have had a bigger lead at halftime. I felt like we'd made a couple of shots and not missed a couple of blockouts. We could have been up a dozen at halftime instead of 4. But it does take a toll on both sides of the ball. And, we're on an NBA-type schedule, Kevin. We're talking about 5 games in 10 days, and we got 8 players basically. I mean, it's travel. We hardly practiced in between games, and just travel and travel. It's a good example of what the NBA goes through at times. And I read an article about the Pelicans and Alvin Gentry talking about the same thing, how much they traveled. They were gone 8 days, come back after Christmas, and then have back-to-backs, and he didn't understand the schedule. But this was a good thing, in my opinion, that we did get this trip out of the way, and we will not go back to the East Coast. So,
where is Jalen right now in his ups and downs, do you think? And what is the likelihood that Malik will be back on this 3-game homestand?
Well, Jalen has played well at times. He's been the focal point of scouting reports. And I'm proud of him for rebounding the ball. He's one of the leaders in the conference in rebounding, averaging right at 7. He and Dew both have rebounded the ball well. And Tyrus has played extremely well on the glass, too. Jalen has not shot the ball like he's capable. He'll have a breakout game here soon. But I thought Jalen gave a really good effort on this road trip and got a little bit better, even though the stats don't provide that. And hopefully we'll get Malik back, and he'll play on this homestand.
What can a guy do, especially a big, to minimize the foul trouble? Is it just a matter of like being aggressive but trying to avoid the ticky-tack, or balancing the aggressiveness?
Yeah, it's a great question. And this morning on my walk, I was thinking the same thing. I talked to Tyrus's father early this morning. He called me and on a different matter, but he said, Coach, he's got to stay in the game and quit making silly fouls. And he's so active and plays so hard that he's in the way all the time. And being one of the bigger guys, occasionally he'll get a bad break. But he does. He has to be smarter, things we've told him. And the other night or afternoon at Statesboro, he got off to such a great start. He's the best player on the court. I don't think there's any question in the first half. And they put him on the bench early with 3 fouls. But at the time, I felt like this is going to be a game where it's 20 and 15. And 5 blocks, and if he can stay in the game, because he was the best inside player on the court the other day.